right, Meech. First and foremost, man, it's always good seeing you. It's always good seeing you every time you make it on this side of the coast. And either we outside catching a few laps, or you got me on the road with you working on something. But thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Uh, it's cool. I enjoy it. I would say overall, it's a fun industry to do business in, but it got its drawbacks. It could be dangerous at times. Difficult to work with the people in it. Yeah, but overall, I love it. Um, I like to do what I want, and I don't really like a lot of rules. I gangbanged for a lot of years and got out of that. So it's like for me to go back into like the hierarchy, pecking order of a club is just, it's too restrictive for me. And as a brand owner, I feel like me being a part of a club would be doing a disservice to my brand because, you know, clubs is like, clubs and crews are similar to gangs in the way they operate, in my opinion. I feel like they create ops, they get territorial, they come up with a lot of rules and things you gotta go by, and I'm one of them rules meant to be broken kind of guys. So it's like I would get kicked out of a club, I'm sure, if I joined one. And plus, business-wise, I'd rather just be neutral. So I wouldn't want to be a part of a club and miss out on some customers because they like, oh, nah, my club don't mess with your club, so I can't even support your brand. So I missed out on some money because of some politics, and I'm not into politics. So no disrespect to nobody in no clubs either, but for me, nah. I would like to think I'm well balanced, but I got more seat time in on a dirt bike, so I would have to say I'm more dirt bike culture, than motorcycle. But I'm into it all. I try to learn a little bit about everything. But where I come from, yeah, you say dirt bike street riders is like they're my homies. Yeah, that just fell on my lap. That opportunity just came out of the blue. A couple of months ago, I got a call from this guy. His Instagram name is Chill Gill. We follow each other on Instagram. I've been following him for years. He used to be a motorcycle stunner that got into drifting, and then out of nowhere, he just started racing, and he just seen a post that I had put up a while ago talking about how I want to learn about all of the sporting side of motorcycles, and he remembered that caption and just called me and gave me the opportunity. Well, he hit me on my DM, and he gave me the opportunity to be a part of his pit crew. Said I'll be putting tire warmers on, fueling bikes up, just in the midst of it, and that's what I enjoy. I don't work on bikes. I don't know how to. Only thing I know how to do is change my oil. Um, I want to learn though, so I feel like what better way to start than immersing yourself in the culture with a bunch of people who turn wrenches on professional race bikes. So yeah, I'm a late bloomer. So everything I do right now is things that I feel like I should have been getting into in my early 20s, but there's no reason I can't do it in my mid late 30s. First ride in Cali was, I think it was 2015. Yeah, it was a ride out. This guy from Harlem named Free put together a bunch of people from New York, Jersey. Um, we all got together, came out to Oakland, and it was a dope ride out. It was a big ride out. The whole city came out, crazy side shows. It was a different experience than New York that I was used to, but it was also the first time a ride out ever resulted in police shooting somebody. Um, so it was a wild experience that weekend. The main cons to it is the violence outside of the bikes, just the territorial gang culture. Um, it was a time I got into a few ride outs in California, 2 ride outs in California, where one time we rode through the wrong block, and this guy got out and just started shooting at the pack. He shot one of the homies in the hand, and he fell off the bike, and I thought he just fell, like riding, and his hand was bleeding. I didn't know he was shot until after the ride out was over, and we ended up having the footage, you know what I'm saying, on somebody's GoPro. That was, and matter of fact, the bullet went through your filter. Right. I remember. That was the first time in a ride out I ever got shot at, just riding, you know what I'm saying? And then it happened again a few years later. I want to say that was January 2022. I think January 2022, we was in a ride out for MLK weekend, and we went through the wrong neighborhood, and the same thing happened. Somebody standing off to the side of the street just upped it and just started firing at the pack and killed this girl named Amanda, and he shot her boyfriend, if I'm not mistaken, and he survived. But word, that was like the wildest experience I ever had. It made me think about Cali bike life different after that. Like, damn, it's to the point now where you really cannot just ride like on the East Coast. You could just get on your bike and just, as long as you got a pack leader that know the good blocks to go through, and when I say good blocks on the East Coast, I mean, geographically. I'm not talking about like violence and stuff, because that just don't happen on the East Coast like that, where somebody would just randomly just, up the fire on people. But that was the wildest experience I've been through, and the cons to me would definitely all be based on the violence out here. Like, it's just dangerous. LA is a dangerous city, you know what I'm saying? But the pros, man, you don't get no roads better than these roads out here. The turns, you don't get the, I would say the views really just, man, views on bike life out here just trumps anything. But, come with a price. Oh yeah, and the police. So getting arrested running from police in New York, it's a lot. It's a slap on the wrist. You get arrested running from police in LA, you're liable to get a bail and fight a case. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to have no criminal history. So, yeah, that was the downsides and the pros to me. I definitely want to get into more or less the sports side of things. Like this weekend, going to be a part of this guy's pit crew. I want to learn more about the sports side, motocross, supermoto, flat track, enduro. I want to pretty much be a journeyman through bike life. You know what I'm saying? I want to just experience all of it and let my brain come with me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm part of this race stuff right here, somebody need a race suit designed by me, something fly. If I'm in this culture right here, somebody needs something designed by me. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I'm not just gonna force myself every culture. I'm gonna figure something out that makes sense to me, and I'm gonna put my touch to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's really my journey, gonna be my journey, not just for the West Coast, but for the world. When I go to Japan, when I go to Europe, when I go to wherever, I'm gonna figure out what's the community like there, the motorcycle community, the dirt bike community, whatever it may be, and I'm gonna figure out the void, and I'm gonna, let my brain work, and I'm gonna fill that void and come up with something dope. And that's just the way I do business.